Hello and welcome to Adulting 101. My name is Patrolman Zangara and I'm with Toms River Police Department. Today we'll be identifying the parts of a bicycle, discuss basic bicycle maintenance and bicycle safety. To begin, let's identify the parts of a bicycle. First, the frame. You have the top tube, the down tube, the seat tube, the front tube, the seat stays, and the chain stays. The handlebars have the grips, the brake levers, the gear shifters, additional accessories such as bells, lights, or a clamp for a cell phone. The wheels, you have the tires, the tubes, the rim, the spokes, and at the center of the wheel, the hub. The drivetrain of the bicycle is the most complex part. It has the pedals, the crank arms, the chain rings, the chain, the rear cassette, which is made up of several sprockets, otherwise known as gears, a rear derailleur, and a front derailleur. Now that we've identified the parts of a bicycle, we'll go through a pre-ride checklist and discuss basic bicycle maintenance. It's a good idea before riding a bicycle every time to conduct an ABC bicycle check. A, first letter, is air. So we'll focus on the tires first and make sure that they are not too worn and are free of any punctures. After that, you'll want to make sure that your tires are inflated with the proper amount of air. You'll need to know two things: which valve your bicycle has. Is a Presta valve and a Schrader valve. Schrader valves are most commonly found on automobile tires. Once you know what type of valve you have, you can utilize a gauge or the proper pump to fill your tires with the appropriate amount of air. You can locate the proper PSI on the sidewall here of the tire. Once you've checked the air pressure, you can identify common problems such as a flat tire. If you discover that your bicycle has a flat tire, you have three options. You can patch the tube, you can replace the tube, or you can take the bicycle to your local repair shop. If you want to attempt to fix the flat tire yourself, you'll need a tire lever, a patch kit, or a replacement tube. The next letter of the checklist is B for brakes. There are two most common braking systems on bicycles. There are rim brakes and disc brakes. Rim brakes function when the brake pads squeeze against the outside rim of the bicycle tire. Disc brakes function where the brake pads squeeze against a circular disc located at the center or the hub of the wheel. This bicycle has disc brakes. As you can see, the disc in the center. Next, you want to squeeze the brake levers and make sure that they do not go all the way back to the grips. A good rule of thumb is you should have a thumb width in between the braking levers and the grips themselves. If the braking levers do go too far back, they'll need adjustment and you should contact a local bicycle shop for the repair. You'll also want to check the brake pads themselves and make sure that they're free of debris and that they're wearing evenly. Brake pads that have less than a ½ inch should be replaced. The next letter is for C, and that stands for chain, cassette, and crank. You'll want to check your chain and make sure that it's clean and rust-free and that it's properly attached. Next, you want to check your crank arms right here and make sure that they do not wobble and are firmly secured. After that, you'll check the cassette and also make sure that the sprockets are clean and rust-free. Finally, you'll want to rotate through all the gears of the bicycle and check that the chain rotates through smoothly. Maintaining your drivetrain is fairly easy. You should regularly wash your vehicle with water and mild detergent. Then after the bicycle is dry, you should lubricate the chain, the cassette, and the crank, and as well as the brake lines with an approved bicycle lubricant. Now that we've gone through our pre-ride checklist, we'll discuss basic bicycle safety. First and most importantly, wear a helmet. In New Jersey, anyone under 17 years of age is required by law to wear a helmet. The helmet should fit properly and should be snug to the head. A good rule of thumb is you should be able to place 2 fingers between your eyebrows and the top of the helmet. You'd also be able to place 1 finger between the strap and your chin. Make sure that the helmet meets the federal standards of the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Another important aspect of bicycle safety is having a proper sized bicycle and a proper riding posture. You can stand and straddle the bicycle and make sure that you have at least 2 to 5 inches between you and the top tube of the bicycle. You should adjust the seat so that when seated, there's a slight bend in your knee when the pedal is at the lowest point towards the ground, about there. Another important aspect of bicycle safety is having the proper equipment on your bicycle. In New Jersey, if riding at night, you're required to have a front white headlight that's visible from 600 feet away and a rear red light that's visible from 600 feet away. You're also required to have a bell or an audible device that can be heard from 100 feet away. And finally, by law, the bicycle is supposed to have functioning brakes that can make the bicycle skid on a flat, dry, level surface. In New Jersey, bicycles are considered vehicles and therefore must adhere to the same traffic laws as automobiles. For instance, cyclists must stay to the right and pass on the left. They must stop for pedestrians, and they must obey all traffic signs and signals such as stop signs and red lights. Some additional safety tips for when riding your bicycle are: wear bright colored clothing, make sure you are seen by drivers before turning or entering a roadway. At intersections, use arm signals to notify drivers which direction you're turning. Try to avoid major highways or busy roads whenever possible. Use crosswalks when available. Do not ride between parked vehicles in a parking lot. Do not wear headphones in your ears. And lastly, use common sense and always expect the unexpected. Thank you and be safe.